We're going to do a destructive test between an SLA printed part and an FDM printed part. This is printed at the finest detail that it can on this Ender 3, and this is an Eiffel Tower printed on the SLA machine out of UV transparent resin. To start out, I'm just going to push these off of a tabletop here, maybe from 3 or 4 feet up in the air, and then I'm going to use both of these to keep it consistent on the table. Then we're going to move it up if none of them break. So my prediction is that the FDM is going to hold up and it won't break, and the SLA part will. From 3 foot off the ground, the SLA part pretty much just destroyed itself, or the FDM part is still completely intact. Nothing broke off. Here, the top of the tower broke off here, and the leg on the bottom did as well. Try the FDM part from about 6 feet in the air. And from about 6 feet with the FDM part, that broke actually in some pretty similar places. This was printed out of PLA, which is more brittle than some of the other materials. ABS would be a little bit more tough, but PLA is a lot easier to print. So this is most commonly what you're going to be printing on with an FDM machine. So FDM was a bit stronger, but the SLA is a more detailed part. So there's differences between both of them. If you printed this out of ABS, it would probably be even stronger, where the resin is definitely more brittle, but you can get more detail and it files really easy. To feel how brittle it is, I'm just going to try to snap the top with my hand. Actually, it's pretty strong here. Yeah, can't break that. It's brittle, but it's pretty hard. And this FDM snaps actually a lot easier. See if I can just take this model, see if I can crush it. Broke off another one of the legs. Let's try it here on the SLA. That was actually a bit harder. So what's happening here is it's sort of like steel. If steel is super hard, it's going to be brittle. If you slam it into something, then it'll chip. But the FDM is a little bit more tough. So it can withstand being dropped and hit. It has a little bit more flex to it, but it snaps easier. It doesn't have as much strength. It's not as hard. So there's definitely differences, especially like layer adhesion here. Its weak points are between the layers with FDM, where with SLA, there's really no weak points between the layers. If you kind of look at where it broke, it just broke sort of where the weak points were in the structure of the tower. So there's differences between both of them. This FDM machine is definitely faster than the SLA. The SLA is a little bit more expensive of a material, not by a long shot, but it is. So depending on what you're doing, this might be better or this might be better. That was actually not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting this to be a lot stronger in this instance. I was expecting to be able to snap this, and then this would also be pretty hard to snap. Although this, I can't even snap, where this one I can. So that's just a different result than what I was expecting. And actually the detail on this FDM part is quite good. There's a lot of stringing going on. I set this at the finest detail that Curo would do, and with some optimization on the head, I think if you added more fans, more cooling, there wouldn't be quite as much stringing. But I mean, as far as FDM goes and detail, this is quite good. Like, the railings are pretty good, and the little rivets on the lookout board actually look really good. So as far as FDM goes, this is great, but the SLA is far more detailed.